Even Google agrees that there's no going back to the old office life. This is by the conversation Elizabeth Sander. The great enforced global experiment in working from home is coming to an end as vaccines, the Omicron variant, and new therapeutic drugs bring COVID-19 crisis under control. But a voluntary experiment has begun as organizations navigate the new landscape of hybrid work, combining the best elements of remote work with time in the office. Yes, there is some push for a return to normal and getting workers back into offices, but ideas such as food vouchers and parking discounts are mostly being proposed by city councils and CBD businesses keen to get their old customers back. A wide range of surveys over the past 18 months show most employees, and increasingly employees, have no desire to return by commuting 5 days a week. This seismic shift in employer attitudes is signaled by Google, long a fierce opponent of working from home. Last week, the company told employees they must return to the office from early April, but only for 3 days a week. And that's still way more than tech companies such as Australia's Atlassian, which expects workers to come into the office just 4 days a year, but it's a far cry from its pre-pandemic resistance to remote work. Hybrid work is here to stay. Employers will either embrace the change or find themselves being left behind. Gains in productivity. Google began under pressure to soften its opposition to remote work in 2020. In December of that year, Chief Executive Sundar Pichai told employees, "We are testing a hypothesis that a flexible work model will lead to greater productivity, collaboration, and well-being. Its chief concern has been protecting the social capital that springs from physical proximity, and also perhaps while keeping employers under surveillance. But long-standing and widespread management concerns that employees working from home would lower productivity have proven unfounded. Even before the pandemic, there was good research showing no productivity penalty from remote working, the opposite, in fact. For example, a 2014 randomized trial involved about 250 Shanghai call center workers found working from home associated with a 13% more productivity. This comprised a 9% gain from working more minutes per shift, due perhaps to fewer interruptions, and a 4% gain from making more calls per minute, attributed to a quieter, more comfortable working environment. Research in the past 2 years supports these findings. Harvard Business School professor Raj Kuduri and colleagues published research in October 2020 that found allowing employees to work wherever they like led to a 4.4% increase in output. In April 2021, Stanford University economist Nick Bloom and colleagues calculated that a shift to remote working resulted in a 5% productivity boost, though their working paper, published by National Bureau of Economic Research, was not peer-reviewed. It was based on surveying 30,000 American workers, which is a decent sample size. Our relationship with work has changed. There are good reasons most of us don't want to go back to the old normal. It just was not that great. While working from home can bring challenges of other kinds, not least the ability to switch off and stop working when work is done, working in an office can increase stress, lower mood, and reduce productivity. My own research has measured the effects of typical open-plan office noises, finding a 25% increase in negative mood even after a short exposure time. Then there's the time spent commuting. Not having to go into the office every day frees up hours of time to do other things. Particularly in winter, it's nice not to have to leave and arrive home in the dark. Changed expectations of work. The importance of these things should not be underestimated. In a June 2021 study by McKinsey of 245 employees who had returned to the office, 1/3 said they felt their mental health had been harmed. The experience of the pandemic has lowered our tolerance for this old world of work. Nothing exemplifies this better than the growth of the lie flat trench, which began in China and is now a global phenomenon. Increasing numbers of people are rejecting the idea of pursuing a career at all costs. They don't want to spend their life being a cog in the wheel of capitalism and are choosing to work less, even not at all. No one size fits all. Rather than a bastion of meaning and fulfillment, the structures around how we have conducted work has for many people meant an existence of quiet desperation. The pandemic has brought an unforeseen opportunity to change this narrative and rethink both the way we work and the role of work in our lives. For some, no job is better than a bad job. The rest of us will settle for the flexibility we've had over the past 2 years. No one size fits all. The downsides of working from home include missing coworkers and losing the benefits of serendipitous conversations, the nuances of how much time we need to spend together in the office for outcomes like creativity, belonging, learning, and relationship building varies between individuals, teams, and job types. But what is certain is we don't need to be together 5 days a week to make things happen. With a shrinking workforce and an increasing war for talent, employers who don't provide flexibility will be the losers. This is from the conversation on FIS.org. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.